For the first time in 25 years, we have a back-to-back winner in the World Series. The Dodgers win Game 7. Let's recap this incredible game as it was just that back and forth, dramatic from pitch one to the last pitch. We had Shohei Ohtani versus Max Scherzer start this game off. Top of the first inning, Ohtani leads off with a single. Will Smith grounds out, Freeman flies out, and then Mookie Betts grounds out. Bottom of the first, George Springer leads off with a single as well, but then Nathan Lucas will strike out, and then Vlad Guerrero Jr. strikes out looking, and George Springer is caught stealing. Kind of another one of those weird plays where Vlad thinks it's ball four, he starts walking to first base, Springer peeks in, and he kind of gives up and is short of second base. I think he would have been thrown out either way, but just another one of those weird moments. I think the other time it happened in game 3 or 4. Top of the second, Muncy strikes out. Teoscar Hernandez flies out, and so does Tommy Edman. Bottom of the second, Bo Bichette leads off with a walk. Typically, those runs score, especially when Addison Barger follows that up with a single. Alejandro Kirk pops out, Varsho flies out, and Jimenez strikes out. So they get 2 on, nobody out, and they're not able to manufacture a run. Going to unfortunately be the story of this game for the Blue Jays. Top of the third, Kike Hernandez flies out, Miguel Rojas strikes out, and Ohtani lines out. Bottom of the third, George Springer singles, Nathan Lucas sacrifice bunt, gets him to second base. And then there's a wild pitch, so runner on third and 1 out. They'll intentionally walk Vlad Guerrero Jr., and Bo Bichette comes up huge for the Blue Jays, a 3-run home run, and it is a 3-0 ball game for the Blue Jays early in this game. That'll end the day for Shohei Ohtani. He didn't look the most sharp, really at all in the 3 innings he pitched. So Justin Robleski comes in. He gives up another Barger single, but then gets Kirk to line out and Varsho to strike out. Top of the fourth, Will Smith leads things off with a double. Freddie Freeman follows that up with a single, so runners on first and third, nobody out. Mookie Betts flies out. Muncy walks, bases loaded, 1 out. And Teoscar Hernandez comes through, sacrifice fly, scores the run. It is 3-1 Dodgers. They're able to answer back immediately after the Bo Bichette home run. Tommy Edman lines out, ending the inning, but it is 3-1 going into the bottom of the 4th inning. Ernie Clement will ground out. Andres Jimenez is hit by a pitch, and the bench is clear. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I've seen this happen in a postseason game, let alone a World Series Game 7. But bench is clear. The umpires do put out warnings, which I thought was really, really bold because another hit by pitch really could have altered the whole outcome of this game. Someone getting tossed for a while for a just a bad fastball or something. So nothing really comes up out of it, but the benches did clear. So kind of an interesting moment in the game. George Springer follows that up with a single. Nathan Lucas strikes out. And then Tyler Glasnow comes in for the Dodgers, their second starting pitcher to pitch in this game. And he gets Vlad Guerrero Jr. to line out. 5th inning, Kike Hernandez strikes out. Miguel Rojas singles, and that will now end the day for Max Scherzer. He did exactly what he needed to do for the Blue Jays to keep him in this game and to give him the best chance to win. Louis Varland will relieve. His 15th outing of the postseason, sets a postseason record. Ohtani singles, but Will Smith and Freddie Freeman both fly out to center field, ending any threat. 3-1 going into the 6th inning. Chris Bassett comes in for the Blue Jays. He'll lead off walk to Mookie Betts, and then following that, a Max Muncy single. So 2 on, nobody out. Can't do that to start off an inning. Teoscar Hernandez will reach on a fielder's choice. So runners now on first and third, 1 out. And Tommy Edman comes in clutch. Sacrifice fly again for the Dodgers and cuts the lead down to 3-2. Kike Hernandez will single, and then Miguel Rojas grounds out, but the score is now a 1-run game. Bottom of the 6th, Ernie Clement leads things off with a single. He'll then steal second base while Jimenez is attempting to bunt him over, and that comes up huge because Andres Jimenez, an RBI double, 4-2 Blue Jays, and at this point, the feeling is that they're going to win this game, and they're going to win their first World Series in 32 years. George Springer strikes out, Nathan Lucas lines out, and then Vlad Guerrero Jr. grounds out. Moving on, 7th inning. Trey Yesavage comes in for the Blue Jays. fighting for a potential World Series MVP in my eyes. He's been phenomenal this postseason and this World Series. He walks Ohtani to lead off the inning. Will Smith flies out, and then Freddie Freeman grounds into a 3-6-3 double play. Really great play from Vlad Guerrero Jr. at first base. Gets out of the jam. Moving on, bottom of the seventh. Emmett Sheehan comes in. He strikes out Bo Bichette, gets Barger to ground out. Alejandro Kirk will single, and then Varsho strikes out. This is where we get some really tense moments in these last few innings. Eighth inning, Mookie Betts grounds out, and then Max Muncy comes up huge against Trey Savage. A home run cuts the lead again to 4-3. It's a one-run game. Teoscar Hernandez grounds out, and Jeff Hoffman comes in vying for the 4-out save. He gets Edman to ground out, but the Blue Jays are 3 outs away from winning the World Series. Bottom of the eighth, Ernie Clement leads off with a double, so runner on second, nobody out. They bring in Blake Snell. Jimenez lines out to third base. He was originally going to look to bunt, and then he pulls it back for a slash, and I don't know how Muncy caught it. He's screaming line drive at him, but he does catch it. George Springer strikes out, and then they pinch hit for Davis Schneider, and he strikes out swinging. So the Blue Jays had a chance to extend the lead, and they just weren't able to. Top of the ninth inning, Kike Hernandez leads off with by striking out. And then of all people, Miguel Rojas with a game-tying solo home run in Game 7 of the World Series, bottom of the ninth inning, 1 out. Unbelievable moment. Rogers Center is speechless. I'm speechless as I'm watching the game because this gave immediately vibes of Rajai Davis in 2016. Unsung hero. Comes in, not trying to hit a home run, but he does. And he said it himself in the postgame. His first home run against a right-handed pitcher all year. So, an unbelievable moment for the Dodgers as they tie the game 4-4. Ohtani will fly out and Smith will strike out looking. But we're moving on to the bottom of the ninth inning, and the Blue Jays are now in a tie ball game. Vlad Guerrero Jr. will fly out. Oh, man, off the bat, I thought it was gone, but he didn't quite get all of it. Bo Bichette will single, and then it was pinch ran for Isaiah Kiner Falefa. Barger walks, so runners on first and second, 1 out, and the Dodgers go to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Huge moment. He pitched in yesterday's game, 96 pitches, and he's just immediately back in. He volunteered to come in. Another starting pitcher in for the Dodgers. He hits Alejandro Kirk. Bases loaded, 1 out. All you got to do is see a ball up, hit a ball in the outfield, and you win the World Series. Dalton Varsho's up to bat. He hits a ball to second base. Miguel Rojas, he dives for it and makes, a World Series saving play. Throws out Isaiah Kiner Falefa at home by the smallest margin possible. And even that margin was even smaller because Will Smith's foot came off of the plate for a split second and he gets it back on before Isaiah Kiner Falefa is able to touch home. The Blue Jays were a split second away from winning the World Series. An absolutely unbelievable moment. Ernie Clement, then he flies out, but it's not just a normal fly out. He hits the ball to the wall. Kike Hernandez is basically camped under it, and Andy Paez, of all people, comes through and lays him out like a linebacker to catch the ball. Dodger fans, hold your breath because, oh my gosh, that also could have ended the game and given the Blue Jays the World Series. But Paez comes through, and we're moving in to the top of the 10th inning. Sir Anthony Dominguez is pitching for the Blue Jays. He gets Freddie Freeman to fly out. He walks Mookie Betts, and then Max Muncy singles. So 2 on, nobody out. Teoscar Hernandez walks. Bases loaded, 1 out now for the Dodgers. Andy Paez with a ground ball to shortstop, a great play from Andres Jimenez, gets the out at home, and then Kike Hernandez grounds out to end the threat. I cannot believe this game, but we're still going to the bottom of the 10th inning, and it's tied after back-to-back half innings with bases loaded and 1 out. Andres Jimenez will ground out, Springer strikes out, and then Straw flies out. Top of the 11th inning, Shane Bieber coming in for the Blue Jays. He gets the first two batters to ground out in Miguel Rojas and Shohei Ohtani. But then Will Smith, the swing of his life, gives the Dodgers a 5-4 lead. One of those home runs that we will remember for generations because of how this game ended. Including, the funny thing is my wife was watching the game with me, and she turns and looks at me and says, Will Smith is going to hit this ball like he hit Chris Rock at the Oscars, and he sure did. It was hilarious that happened literally the next pitch. But she called it. Will Smith with the go-ahead home run for the Dodgers, 3 outs away from winning back-to-back World Series. Vlad Guerrero Jr. leads off with a double. Oh my gosh, the Blue Jays are going to tie this game. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa bunts him over to third base. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. And oh my gosh, the Blue Jays are not able to come through. Barger does walk, but then Alejandro Kirk unfortunately grabs into a 6-3 double play, and the Dodgers are World Series champions again. They win Game 7 of the World Series 5-4. The Dodgers got their 5 runs on 11 hits, no errors, and 10 left on base. Blue Jays, 4 runs on 14 hits, no errors, and 14 left on base. A lot of opportunities to win this World Series of the Blue Jays, and they just weren't able to come through. Of course, Yamamoto gets the win. He's 5-1 now, and then Shane Bieber gets the loss, 2-1. Obviously not his fault. There was ample opportunities for the Blue Jays to win in this game. Player of the game, gotta go to Will Smith. 2 for 6 with a World Series winning solo home run in the 11th inning. A moment that Dodger fans will remember forever. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he is the World Series MVP. He saved this game for them. He had 2 2/3 innings pitched after pitching 96 pitches the day before and a complete game in Game 2. He did everything pitching-wise for the Dodgers in this series. So well-deserved World Series MVP. Max Muncy, he had that home run in the 8th inning, cut that lead to 4-3, and he was 3 for 4 on the day. A game that Dodger fans need to remember that Muncy was also a huge part of this win. And then you got to mention Miguel Rojas with the swing of his entire career, maybe his entire life, and any future at-bats he may ever have. That game-tying home run in the 9th inning off of Jeff Hoffman. An unbelievable, took my breath away moment for the Dodgers. Max Scherzer, in what could be his final game, pitched 4 1/3 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, a run, 4 hits, and a walk. Did everything he could for the Blue Jays in this one. We'll see if it's his last. I've seen both that he'll be back next year. But he's getting up there in age. He's 40, 41 years old, so we'll see. George Springer did everything as well. 3 for 6 with a run. 3 strikeouts to end the game for him, but still, he did a lot in this one. Bo Bichette, 2 for 4 with that 3-run home run, gave the Blue Jays an early lead. Ernie Clement, 3 for 5 with a run, and he is now the all-time postseason hits leader in a single postseason with 30, passing Randy Arozarena. So, fantastic postseason for Ernie Clement. And then Barger was 2 for 4 with 2 walks. So, that wraps up the 2025 baseball season. The LA Dodgers win the World Series, and they are the first back-to-back champion since the New York Yankees 25 years ago when the Yankees won 3 in a row. And it's also worth noting, Mookie Betts now has 4 World Series champions. An already future Hall of Famer keeps padding his resume with World Series wins. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this Game 7. Is this maybe one of the best, if not the best, Game 7 that we have seen? 2016 Cubs and Indians probably is still the best, but this has to be right up there when it comes to the drama, the back and forth, the benches clearing, the home runs, the game-tying home run, and the go-ahead home run. Incredible moments for a World Series and a great, fantastic way to end the 2025 baseball season. Please hit that subscribe button if you like this video. Otherwise, we have off-season content coming up. We've got award ceremonies next week and a whole lot more. We are 100 days or so, maybe even more, 120 days until spring training begins. So we will see you this off season. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.